Good morning. Happy Sunday. It is nice for it to be the weekend. Definitely need some rest time in my life. It's funny how much just driving, long days of driving can zap your energy. I don't enjoy long road trips. I definitely am not a road trip type of person anymore. So I ate around, I think it was 150 grams of protein yesterday, which is still over my limit. I think I fucked that up. I'm still waking up. That's still over my limit. About 112 grams is my cap. Which is fine. I wanted to have a baseline showing what it is before I start capping protein. So we're counting down. And we're at 0.5. So today I will start capping my protein, and you can see how that affects my ketones. Hey, so I thought that I would show what I'm eating today. I bought a tub of raw butter. We're gonna see how long it'll last at room temperature before it spoils. I have a mini fridge, but it feels a little excessive to plug it in just for a tub of butter when I don't use it for anything else. So we will see how that goes. And then, come on, there we go. I've got eggs. I eat raw egg yolks, goat cheese, and grass-fed ground beef. So it's been a while since I've eaten butter. It smells good. It's hard as a rock, so that'll be fun. And I don't do a whole lot real fancy. I'm just gonna put some salt on the ground beef. I literally just eat it right out of the package. I guess I'm very much about efficiency, and it seems wasteful to put it into a bowl or onto a plate and then have to wash that when I can just eat it out of the package. It's perfectly fine. I put some sea salt on it. I know that there are a lot of people who say you don't need sea salt on carnivore. I personally find I feel best when I consume a lot of electrolytes, including salt. Right. But your mileage may vary. Start out with an egg yolk because they're very delicious. There's something about them that reminds me of when I was a kid, because one of my favorite things was eggs over easy and toast. And then I would dip my toast in the egg yolks. I really didn't even like the egg white. That was just collateral damage. But that egg yolk, man, that was amazing. If I could have just had a giant plate of mostly runny egg yolks, slightly warm because I was a picky eater, I would have been in heaven. Let somebody else take the whites. Oh. I don't know that I'm the best at separating them, but that will do. Yeah, I don't know how long this butter is gonna... Well, that's not bad on the edges. So normally I just eat the ground beef as is. This is 85%, so I can't find a fattier blend in a convenient location where I don't have to drive all over town. So I'm going to put some butter with it. Because today especially, I want a lot of fat. Oh. So people always ask me, is it safe to eat raw meat, especially like raw ground beef? And I mean, I don't know. Is it safe to eat anything? Supposedly, fruits and vegetables are safe and healthy, but they contain a lot of poisons. I'm not convinced that they're healthy. And I look at it like this. We take and sterilize all of our food until there's no natural bacteria left in it. Like, the bacteria that would naturally exist on this food eating it raw is the same bacteria that would break it down naturally. So why wouldn't I want to eat that, make my digestion easier? And instead, people go out and they buy packaged probiotics, which is bacteria, but it's not the bacteria that would break down the food they're eating. It's just the most commercially viable options. And then they go out and buy kefir and drink kefir because of the bacteria, or yogurt. So you spend all this extra time and money and energy going out to replace the bacteria that you cooked off the food because you're afraid of the bacteria on the food, and the bacteria you're now putting in your body isn't even the bacteria that would naturally grow on the food to break it down to digest it. So I hope that made sense. But that's my own take on it. I want all the bacteria. I don't want to cook it out. I want what would naturally break down and digest this meat. Because, at least for me, my own gut microbiome has been destroyed by antibiotics. A lot of antibiotics in my life. This isn't terrible. I prefer the ground beef on its own versus with the butter, but another question I get is, what does it taste like? I don't think there's really much flavor. It definitely does not have as significant of a flavor as cooked meat, particularly fat. Fat pretty much has no flavor, just a texture. And then meat in general is kind of mild. So I think more of it is getting over the mental barrier rather than the flavor. I'm not sure how many eggs I'm going to eat today yet. I might only just have those 2. They are really good. But fortunately, eggs are something that keep very well at room temperature for a pretty good period of time. They're better cold, flavor-wise, but they're not terrible at room temperature either.